Hopefully everybody's back. It's 10 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the call out session. But first, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about how the next couple of sessions are going to go. Okay, so um, basically, there's in this particular session here in the callouts, I'm going to present a workflow. I know that a lot of you are using callouts in your environment, some very extensively, some not so much. So in order to, facilitate everyone, it's going to be a pretty simple workflow with the callouts. But I want everybody to keep in mind that this is the latest version of 2019. So for those of you who are still on 2017, you'll see some new features here, and maybe, kind of push that upgrade path. So I'm gonna kind of walk through a couple of workflows with the callouts here, and then I'm gonna turn my servers over to you. What we're gonna do is I'll put a set of instructions up on the screen, have you log into my servers, create users, notification feeds, and actually perform the callouts. Okay, so that you don't have to necessarily test it all in your stuff. You can test it in my environment now. Okay. The ultimate goal is to actually get you performing these different functions. And again, this boot camp is kind of a kickoff for what we're planning on doing in 2021, which is holding like little mini workshops like this. Okay, having a workflow presented and then having you guys actually interact and do things with this with the software and stuff. So just keep that in mind as we're going through. And we'll just get started from there. Okay. Of course, we'll open it up at the end of the session here so that you guys can share your experiences with callouts, how you're currently using it, and it's always good to get everybody talking. So, why do we use callouts? All right. Well, callouts is basically notification engine. It's going to send out the messages to the responsible parties. It's like alerts, but it can be a little bit more. Okay, so when we talk about callouts, let's say you have a couple of systems that go down and you need to get all the engineers on maybe a conference call, and EA can help facilitate that as far as sending them a mass notification out to all of the engineers that are responsible, get them all talking to address a certain issue. Okay. But it can also be used for just company-wide notifications. If there's inclement weather that has closed the building down, you don't want all the employees coming in. You need to make sure that they get the notifications out that, hey, this site is down right now. No need to come in because of the inclement weather. Okay. But also, using callouts just to notify stakeholders, or even just affected users of a specific instance that goes down. So if your Exchange box has an issue and nobody's can log into their email, we don't want them, company wide to start flooding the call center with, hey, I can't get my email, I can't get access, things like that. So using the callouts to shoot out a broadcast message to all the affected users that a system is down, support's working on it, it should be back up at this time. It's great for maintenance alerts, unscheduled maintenance as well as scheduled. So, lots of different use cases, lots of different scenarios that we can use the callouts for. So that's just to kind of name a few. And again, we'll open this up so that everybody can kind of share what they're doing with callouts in their environment. But let's just kind of walk through here for those who have not seen callouts yet, or maybe not using it this way. I'm going to take a look at a couple of templates here. So this inclement weather alert is a callout that we've created, and it's going to be specifically targeted to a notification feed. Okay, so when we think of notification feeds, again, it's just like we think it's a way to group users together. Okay, we can use them to target specific teams or even specific people if we need to. Okay, so with the callouts, basically, this is a template of an inclement weather callout. Okay. One of the things that I want to kind of highlight, especially for those of you who are using them, is not only can you perform the call out actually from the web portal as far as logging in, um, select to make a call out. You see all of the ones that you have listed and just clicking on the go button. Okay, so it is really that simple just to log in, click on go, and be done with it. All the notifications will go out to the designated parties that it's assigned to. But one of the things that may not be utilized as much is callouts can be made via an incoming voice call and an incoming text. So with these boxes checked, I'm able to actually send a text message into Enterprise Alert and trigger this call out just to be fired off automatically. Okay. When we think about that, there's little tricks that we can go and maybe even create remote actions for the callouts and actually automate them. Okay, and we can take a look at that here in just a little bit. So when we go over to the alerting tab here, this is actually kind of, for those, of you who administer alert policies, you're going to kind of see this familiar screens. Where is it going to go? We're going to target this to a notification feed. Okay, so that notification feed there is just a group of users that are designed to receive the messages. Okay, when we talk about notification feeds, they can be public and private. Public feeds are available for anybody to come in and sign up for, or they could be held privately and just administered from the top down, making sure that people are subscribed that are mandated to. For this particular instance, we're going to do a voice call, and it's going to read us the message. There is severe weather in the surrounding area. Employees use code 99. Okay, very simple message here for this demo, but we're going to let you come in and actually start creating your own so you can make your own messages and things like that. One of the nice things is it's not, you don't have to make a call out individual to a certain group. You can actually add additional messages, have it go to different destinations with a separate message. And just by the click of one button, you can call multiple different sets of people with different messages. So for the exchange scenario that we talked about earlier, maybe your the IT ops team needs to go through and actually correct the issue, and then the second call out be made with a separate message or notifying those affected users. Okay, so all can be done within a single click, but for the time being, we will just send this off. So let's go through, we're just going to fire this call out, inclement weather, here it is, and we'll just click go. Okay. Callouts are essentially an alert. Okay, so you're going to see these show up on the mobile app as well, but this is some of the things. Here's my voice call that I'm getting. Okay, so it's going to go through and it's going to read me. It's been advised severe weather alert for the surrounding areas. Employees use code 99. Okay, now what we're seeing here is these are the actual people that are being notified. Okay, now I believe this is where 2017 stops. Okay, 2019 goes all the way into the details, and we're going to be able to show you each individual user that's being called, what channel they're being notified on, and whether or not that call was actually received. This call pickup timeout here, they just didn't answer the phone in time. Okay, I didn't confirm the alert. So and this is kind of goes back to Jensen's question. Can you actually go through and set different messages for different events when a call actually happens, and that's all done through the voice XML, like Fabian was talking about there. But again, here is a common problem that we see. No address for the notification channel. So this guy doesn't have a voice call. Okay, so that goes all the way back to the beginning session here. Let's go ahead and run that query that Fabian said. Okay, he needs to put his phone number in. Okay. This is showing you all of the failed calls. Okay, if I click on retry failed, just with a click of a button, it's going to go through and it will redo this call out again, and it's going to specifically target the people that actually failed. Okay, so particularly useful when you're sending out hundreds of call outs here. to hundreds of different users, and you need to make sure that everyone is receiving this message. Okay, so if the call out goes to 100 people, you want 50% acknowledged, maybe only 40 people actually listen to the message. Okay, clicking on retry failed is going to then go through and send it all over again. Okay, so that's one of the real nice features here with 2019, as far as being able to see all the different channels for the users, resending it just to those users who failed. Making sure that notification was actually sent out. Okay. Now, when we go back, one of the things I want to kind of little tips and tricks and things that we can do, this inclement weather call out here, I've set it that it can be made via incoming voice and incoming text. So basically, once you do this once, you have an event. Okay, because in the notification messages that come through, you'll see that text message come through and it will trigger the call out. Well, with the help of a PowerShell script, we can actually set this to be a remote action. Okay, so basically what we would do is create this remote action to say, hey, reinitialize this event by copying an XML, putting it in an appropriate folder here. And what the benefit there is, you're able to actually have this inclement weather call out as a remote action that you can just go through and execute. Okay. Fabian showed it earlier in the alert policies, where you can set a remote action to automatically run when a policy is triggered. Okay, so again, let's go back to that issue of your Exchange server goes down. Your policy now goes to the ops team to correct that issue. Okay, but if you already have this call out set, and it can be initialized, just a few, like I said, just a PowerShell script that we can create, and I can help you do that. We'll go through, automatically run and fire this call out automatically. Okay, so if you have a set workflow, whereas an issue goes down, you're alerted to it, and then you have to actually perform to notify people, we can automate that process. Take your manual step out of there and automatically trigger a call out once an alert policy is triggered. Okay. Questions so far?
So since we don't have this in our product still, I'm still slightly confused and trying to wrap my head around the use cases and how it's different than subscription users and alert users and how those roll in. Is this really, it's just an overlay of those same processes. It's providing a new UI to make sort of the same things you could already do in a more clean way, I guess. And is it using subscription cows and alert cows if you have to have one or the other of those?
Well, all right, so it can use both, okay? But when we talk about subcals there, just for your notification receivers, we want to make sure that those are grouped within a notification feed, right? So if we go, this is our inclement weather feed, all right? I have this feed set to public, so all users within the system is able to subscribe to this. If I look at the subscribers, we have Han Solo, myself, and Robert all signed up for this notification feed, okay? With it being public like this, we can go into our users can go into their profile and they will see a feeds tab here. Now this feeds tab, this is all of the publicly available feeds that I have, and they can go through and self-manage and subscribe to the different feeds that they need to, or that they want to be notified on.
Right, okay. But so I already have feeds and all of those pieces and subscription cows. I just don't have callouts. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if that's just an overlay for that front step, because I could create an inclement weather feed right now without having callouts. I just don't have the little megaphone on the side. And I'm not sure. That's where I'm lost as to how this all connects. Is it just the template and the workflow?
Basically, yes, it's the template. So what you have now is you could create a feed and you have your users and things like that, but what is the message they're going to receive? What is it that you're trying to notify them on? And that's where, going through building your messages here and having the ability to just come in, click on go, and shoot that message out. So it's basically just you're missing the pre-canned notification message.
Okay, so for those that don't own this, and if you wanted to buy it, what you're getting is the template and the workflow that sits on top of all the existing pieces. All the existing pieces are required with the subscription feed cows or the feeds or whatever. So you just get this screen that gives you a template that you can apply and a view of who got that message.
Exactly. Yep.
Also, in this template, you can just put one call out and add different messages for different teams. So you can combine, if you have a bigger IT outage, you can send different notifications to different to different user groups. For example, your general users just get a general notification, the Exchange server is down, please don't call us, and your IT stuff gets a broadcast telling them, guys, get on it. Or for the inclement weather, your general user base gets the information, please stay at home. And the guys that have some responsibilities in hazard prevention in the company, they might have to get a different notification telling them, please get in and make sure the keller is not flooded, things like this. So with one button press, you can inform the different user groups about different issues.
Yep. So see here, we have 3 notification feeds here. All of them are going to get separate messages once you send this out.
Now you're in the template, so wouldn't do this? It's the same thing within the make the call out.
You could do it through the ad hoc messages, which is I think what you guys are doing.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But with just a little bit of admin there in the back end, you're able to actually set this stuff up like this. You don't have to actually go in ad hoc messages when you're actually performing the call out. Okay. Again, with the history here, I don't have any active callouts going on right now. Everything is gone through, but if we go to all, we're able to see all of them here. Okay, so if I look at this inclement weather, we see that myself and Robert both received these messages. Han Solo did not. That call failed. But again, going into the details and looking at all, here's all the different channels for all the different users. Going to the failed, I can just come in, click retry failed, and it would go through and resend it. Okay.
Now within that failed, that would actually give you everybody that failed, and you can actually, with everybody failed, it would actually just send to the ones that failed. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Fantastic.
So in this particular instance here, when we resend this, I'm not going to get messages. Robert's not going to get a message because both of us received it. Okay. It's only going to send it back to Han Solo. Now he's never going to get it. It's always going to fail because he has no address, but that was done on purpose. Makes sense?
No, that makes total sense. That's great.
Sounds
that's
familiar,
great. Yeah, that's great.
And so received in this case is they pressed 1 on the phone call. Is that? And you were putting 99 in. I wasn't sure if that was just an ID that you were just an arbitrary thing that you were making up there.
It is actually, because you can, when you go through the template, you create your own codes, and these codes are used for again, being able to trigger this call out externally from the web portal. Okay, because that code says when you call Enterprise Alert, you can put that code in, and it would then perform this call out right away. Or you can send that text message with code 99 into EA, and it will trigger the call out as well.
Okay, got it.
So that's really the code is basically used to trigger it from your phone.